Hi guys, so welcome back to my channel. Thank you for stopping right here on my channel today. If this is your first time of coming across my channel, it's centered around sewing. I share sewing tutorial videos and pattern drafting right here on my channel. So in today's tutorial guys, I'll be sharing with you all how I achieved this beautiful tulip skirt or gown which you're seeing right here. So I made use of this beautiful nice 100% cotton and coral print fabric. So without wasting much time, I'll just get started with today's tutorial. So I'll start by drafting the skirt part of this gown because I actually made this dress into a gown. So firstly, I folded my fabric into two, and I'll start by marking a line across which is going to serve as my waistline and also my guiding point. Okay, so from the edge of my folded fabric, you can see that I marked 5 inches all the way from the top part to the hem of this fabric I'm working with. Actually, the length of the skirt I'm working with here is 27 inches, which I will still mark later on. So after that, I connected that and I went ahead to get my hip of 9 inches. That's the first mark I made right there, and my needle length of 19 inches. So the next, I'll get my full skirt length of 27 inches and also add 1 inch which will serve as my hemming allowance. So I'm going to extend all of this line, all of these points I made here, into a straight line. So after doing this, I'm going to come to that first line which is 7 as my waistline and divide my waist of 33 into 4, and I have 8¼ So the next, I'll come to my hip and divide my hip of 42 inches into 4, and I have 10½ inches. So do note that my all these measurements I'm taking right here is starting from that line and not from the edge of my folded fabric. So my knee circumference here is 30 inches. I went ahead to mark it. So to get your knee circumference, you tilt your knee before you take the round measurement of your knee, and do ensure you can walk freely. Okay, so after that, now you can see that I've gone ahead to connect all these points I made right here, and that is it, and I'm making a progress. So the next I'll go ahead to add is 1 inch, which is going to serve as my seam or stitching allowance all around this my skirt. So I'll connect it like this, and after that I'll just simply go ahead now and cut out this my skirt exactly the way I drafted. Okay, so for the waist area, I'm going to leave like half of an inch, which is going to serve as my joining to the upper part of this my gown. So you can actually make this into a skirt or gown just like the way I did. So I'll get another fabric and fold it into 2, and also fold in the 5 inches which I marked at the beginning part of this my front skirt. I'll place it on yet another fabric, which you can see obviously from here, and I removed my front skirt and went ahead to mark 1 inch. So this 1 inch is going to be for my zip allowance. So I've gone ahead now to connect this into a straight line. So I'll get the front part of my skirt and place it exactly on that 1 inch and cut out every other thing the same way. So I'll go ahead now and remove my front skirt pattern again because I'm trying to create a butt curve for the back part of this skirt. So from the waist, I'll mark 5 inches just like this, and from the 5 inches I'm going to mark 8 inches. So I'll just make these lines visible and watch how I'll connect this. So this is actually how to achieve a butt curve on your skirt or your gown. So this can be made into a skirt, but mine, I joined it to the upper part of my drafted princess that bustier, which I also have the tutorial already uploaded on the channel. So you to go ahead and do this, and after that you go ahead and and cut out exactly the way I've marked this chalk. Having done that, now I went ahead to also notch the 5 inches, that is that point exactly where the 5 inches extension stopped for my front skirt pattern. So after that, now I'm just going to simply slash this. So to get started, from the edge of from the side of my skirt, I didn't start my measurement from the allowance. From the side, I measured out 6 inches inwardly just like this. You can see what I did right here. So I'm also going to go ahead now to connect from that my waistline down to the hem of my dress. But if you don't want this to exposing, you can decide to come up from the hem or the base of your skirt by 8, 9 or 10 inches, depending on how exposing or revealing you want your ties to be. Okay, so after connecting that, I made sure that this met exactly at that point. I came up by 10 inches. Okay, so I'll go ahead now and connect this exactly this way. Even if my explanation is not so clear, you see that what I'm doing here is very clear and understandable. So as I've marked this chalk now, the next thing I'm going to do is to cut this out exactly the way I marked out. So you're not going to cut exactly on that line. I'm going to leave half of an inch because I'm going to be turning this up with my lining. So I've cut this out and I'm spreading it out now for you guys to actually see what I meant. So I went ahead now to cut out of my lining piece, and front I placed my lining facing the front part of this my drafted cut out skirt pattern. So the part I slashed, I'm going to stitch using that half of an inch which I told you earlier to leave on your dress. So for the back skirt, I will also go ahead to also stitch my lining to it. So this is my back skirt now, and I'm going to get my front skirt. So this is the front part of my skirt. I stitched that using half of an inch and also top stitched on my lining from the inside. So guys, this is what I have right here. I'll bring the two parts of the front skirt and make sure that the parts which I notched aligns together just as I'm doing right here, and I'll pin this. So I'll pin this up properly and go ahead and stitch that area. So after stitching now, I'm going to show you guys what it looks like, and this is how nice it's looking. And I'll go ahead now to face it to the right side of my basket, because at this point I'm going to join the two sides of this skirt. So after joining using my 1 inch, this is what I have. So the only part open now is the back, which the zip will be fixed to. So having done this, I brought the upper part of this gown which I'll be adding to this my skirt, and I went ahead now to fold this into two and get the midpoint. I'll repeat the same thing for the skirt, and I'll stitch this together, and trust me guys, it's actually corresponded on the waist area. So if you're actually interested in learning how I drafted this princess that bustier perfectly, go on ahead and watch the tutorial that I posted before this one. So, and also I'll be posting the link in the comment section so that you guys can as well find it much easier to access. So this is it, and you can see that I went ahead to notch both the upper part of my dress and the lower part of my dress, which is the skirt part, and also pin and stitch using half of an inch. But if you're making yours into a skirt, just go ahead and add a band to your skirt and also fix your zipper at the back, and guys, trust me, you are done with this dress. So now after joining, you can see what I have right here, and I will just go ahead and join the shoulder and also add the sleeve and also add my zipper. So guys, this is how fast and quick you can make a tulip gown. So now this is the outcome of this skirt. So you can see how nice and relaxed this is looking. Like I said earlier, if you want this more exposing, you can go ahead and slash this skirt bigger. So thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate, and I'm grateful to all my subscribers. And if you're yet to subscribe but you've watched up to this point, I urge you to please subscribe. It's never going to be a thing of regret, I promise you that. Thank you all once again, and do have a successful day ahead of you. Bye.